Hello, good morning everyone. So in the
Good
today's
morning,
lecture,
ma'am.
good morning. In the today's lecture, we are going to start with the closed set. Okay, we have seen the what is a derived set, what is a limit point, how to find out the limit point for any example. Like suppose you have a definition of a limit point, so and if you want to find out what are the limit points of any set E. Any doubt for finding the limit points, set of limit points, derived set for our any type of example in topology.
No, ma'am.
Okay, if you're not having a doubt, let us go for the next one, that is a closed set. The next definition is a closed set. Let X2 be a T space. Okay, let X2 be a T space. Let capital F be any subset of X. Then we say that F is a closed set. See, in the whole topology, we are going to denote F as a closed set, and G, H, all these notations are for the open sets. Okay, so F is a closed set if it contains all its limit point. That is, F is a closed set if what is the condition? Or in another way, we can say F is a closed set if derived set of F is contained in F. If this happens, then only we say that F is a closed set. Have you understood the definition? I think this definition is already known to you people, that how to find out the any set to be a closed set, we have to first find out the set of limit points. How to find out the set of limit points is nothing but your derived set. Then how to find out the limit point? By definition of a limit point, for all the open set G containing that point X, you have to find out the condition that G intersection E minus X is non-zero, or we can say that the intersection of G and E must contain at least one point other than X. Okay. So here we are provided with the derived set of F is contained in F. Okay. So we have to verify this condition. Derived set of F is contained in F. Now let us go for the example. Let us have the example of X is equals to A, comma B, comma C. 2 is equals to 5, capital X, singleton A, B, AB. And the set is equal to A, comma B. So what is the derived set for this set? Whether we have solved this example, but how to find out the derived set of this? First check it whether we have solved the example, and then we can directly say that whether derived set of E is contained in E. Okay, let's solve आपण आहे example.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the derived set we have found?
C.
Singleton C. Okay. So let us check whether singleton C is a subset. It is not a subset of AB. Right. So here the condition of derived set of E, which is contained in E, this condition fails, and hence we can say that what we can say E is not a closed set. Okay. So it is easy to do. Now let us go for one more example. The example X is equals to 1, comma 2, comma 3, and 5 is equal to 2 is equal to 5, capital X, singleton 1. and E is equal to 2 comma 3. So have you checked what is a derived set of this set?
Yes, ma'am.
What is a derived set for this example?
2, 3.
Okay, I have derived set is 2 comma 3. Now here we can say 2 comma 3 is contained in 2 comma 3, rather both are equal. So we can say now the condition of derived set of E is contained in E is verified. Right now any set is a subset of itself. So I can write 2 comma 3 is a subset of 2 comma 3 itself, and hence we can say that E is a closed set with respect to this x. No, otherwise if I change x, so there will be some problem. Okay, so we can say that E is a closed set. Let me take the very easy example. Derived set of 5 is 5. Why derived set of 5 is 5? Yes, why derived set of 5 is 5? How to find out the derived set of empty set?
I contain solid's limit point.
The point
Five
is
is a member of 2.
Karnar.
Because there is no element which is not limit point of 5.
Right. There is no element whose limit point is not in. So actually उसमें elements ही नहीं है तो हम limit point कैसे find out करेंगे ना? So we can say that derived set of phi is a phi, and hence we can say phi is a closed set. Okay. So actually phi and x both are closed and open, that we already know. Let us go for the fourth example, that is derived set of x. What is derived set of x? Whatever it may be. Obviously that derived set of x may be a subset of x itself. Right now? Or it may be equal to. So hence we can write it is subset relation, either it is proper subset or it is equal. So hence we can say that x is a closed set. Right? We can find out the derived set of x, no? After finding derived set of x, it may be any set, but it is obviously a subset of x itself, because your x is nothing but your universal set. Right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let us go for the next one, that is, we'll check the about the indiscrete topological space. What will happen if we have x2 is a indiscrete T space?
Close set.
Yes. What about indiscrete T space? होणार का closed set? Any subset if I take for indiscrete T space? For this
Yes,
you
ma'am.
should. Before checking this, first we should check what is a derived set, na? बरोबर? For indiscrete T space, and if suppose I am saying coordinate of x is greater than or equal to 2, and what is phi? Phi is a subset of E, and E is a subset of x. That means we are taking any non-empty subset, or you can say E is a non-empty subset, which is a subset of x. Then what is derived set of E in this case? When coordinate of x is greater than or equal to 2. Whether it is a subset of E.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me go back what we have done for finding the derived set for the discrete and indiscrete T space. Right? For indiscrete T space, what we have studied, let x2 be an indiscrete T space, let 2 is equal to phi and x. Okay, we have x2 is an indiscrete T space and 2 is equal to simply phi and x. We have to find out derived set of E. Okay, at that time I have told you that whatever the derived set of E will be equal to capital X if cardinality of X is greater than or equal to 2, or in the case we are considering if cardinality of E is greater than or equal to 2, then derived set of E is X. And if cardinality of E is equal to 1, then we have to discuss the cases, right? If you remember, we have arrived to this one. Okay. What was the consideration? G intersection E minus singleton X should not be equal to empty set, right? And if I want to find out this one, what is a open set which contains X? Guaranteed open set is a capital X itself, because we have only two open sets in this case. So X intersection E minus singleton X. Okay, we have to check for this. So we know that as E is a subset of X, we can check this is what E intersection uh, X is E. So hence, what is this? This may be empty or non-empty. It depends completely on E. If cardinality of E is equal to 1, and that 1 is nothing but your X element, so it will be equal to 0. Right, so for having equal to 1, we have to discuss the cases. If cardinality of E is greater than or equal to 2, so what will be the resultant? This E minus singleton X will be non-empty. Is it correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So in this case, we can say derived set of E is completely equal to X. That I will show you later on. Okay, because it is already we are getting to be a non-empty. I will show you later on. And every point of X will be a limit point, since we are considering this. No, X is arbitrary point and E minus X. If cardinality of E is greater than or equal to 2, if we are saying here, so if cardinality of E is greater than or equal to 2, then this whole set E minus singleton X will be non-empty, and X is an arbitrary element. For any arbitrary element, we are getting this G intersection E minus singleton X is a non-empty set on the condition E is greater than or equal to 2. Then we can say that X is a limit point, right? But what is your X? X is any arbitrary point, so hence we can say derived set of E is equal to whole set X, because we have selected X small x from capital X. X is any arbitrary element. For arbitrary element, we have put the condition capital E minus singleton X is non-empty, and hence we can say that derived set of E is a capital X itself. And hence now can you say that for indiscrete T space, whether we have any subset E to be a satisfying this condition? Okay, derived set of E will, whether it will be a subset of E, we are saying that derived set of E is a X. Whether X is a subset of E, I का X is a subset, we can say E is a subset of X, but whether X is a subset of E?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
So hence, you should remember these cases, right? We have to remember this one, G intersection E minus singleton X. And we have arrived to this one for indiscrete T space, capital E minus singleton X is non-empty on the condition cardinality of E is greater than or equal to 2. On the condition if cardinality of E is equal to 1, then we have to discuss the cases actually while going for the example. But if you want to consider for in general, we can assume that cardinality of E and X both are greater than or equal to 2, and hence X is any arbitrary point. For this arbitrary point, we have proved this condition to be non-empty, which implies that your E is a that means it will have a some limit point, that is X is a limit point of E, and X is arbitrary, and hence we can say that the derived set of E is a whole capital set capital X. Okay, so we can now say that for indiscrete T space, E is a not a closed set. Okay, I hope you remember this one. We have studied this while doing the study of a derived set for discrete and indiscrete T space. Now let me go for the next example. Okay, what is the next example is capital X is equal to AB and tau is equal to 5x. Okay, let us take this example itself, in which we have tau is equal to 5x. That means we have a indiscrete t space. Okay, write this example. Capital X is equal to a comma b, and tau is equal to 5x. Capital E is equal to singleton A. Now find out derived set of E. Are you getting what the example is there? Solve this
Yes,
example
ma'am.
and tell me derived set of E. X is equal to only two elements A and B, and capital E is equal to singleton A, and tau is equal to indiscrete topological space. Now let us check what is derived set of E. And tell me what is a derived set of E. I hope you are knowing how to find out derived set of E.
एम्प्टी सेट येते मॅम.
Empty set येते. Okay, how to find out the limit points? Let us start with case 1. What is a case 1? We have to check whether x equal to a is a limit point. How many open sets are there which contains x equal to a? Only one open set, that is capital X. Okay, capital X intersection with E minus singleton A. Okay, what is the resultant of this? Capital X intersection E is E minus singleton A. What is E? E is a singleton A itself. Okay, so we are getting this to be a equal to empty set. So hence we can say that A is not a limit point. Okay, let us check similarly for case 2. What is a case 2? In which we have to check whether x equal to b is a limit point. So how many open sets are there which contains x equal to b? That means only one open set we have which contains b, that is x itself. Okay, phi is an empty set, so it does not contain any limit. So x intersection E minus singleton B. Now let me check what is the resultant of x intersection E. This is E minus singleton B. Now what is your E? The set E is given to us as singleton A minus B. Okay, so what is this minus? I can convert it as a complement of B. What is a complement of B?
ए.
Is A. So now we can say it is singleton A, and hence which is a non-empty. So I can write now x equal to b is a limit point. So what we are getting here, derived set of E is equal to b on the condition cardinality of E is equal to 1 and cardinality of x is equal to 2, and hence we have found derived set of E is equal to singleton b. Now let me check whether this derived set of E is contained in E. What is your set E? Singleton A, right? So this condition doesn't agree, right? Derived set of E is not contained in E. Hence we can say that E is not a closed. Okay. Are you getting the condition? For E greater than or equal to 2, that condition holds. But here also, if E is equal to 1, for this particular example, we can say that E is not a closed set. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt for this example?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so from this we can have the note. What is a note in this? No proper subset of indiscrete T space is closed. Okay, let me write down the remark and you should read it and tell me what is the meaning of this remark. No proper or in another way I can write this as read both the statement and tell me what is a meaning of these statements. What we have written here, derived set of E is capital X if cardinality of E is greater than or equal to 2. Right? Derived set of E is capital X whole if cardinality of E is greater than or equal to 2. This is true. Okay? If E minus X you are going to check, E ची cardinality greater than 2 असेल तर हे नॉन एम्प्टी येणार आहे आणि X हे आर्बिटरी पॉइंट असल्यामुळे derived set of E capital X whole capital X येणार आहे. Right? But we are checking here in this example for if cardinality of E is equal to 1, less than 2, we can consider, or equal to 1. So in this case, what we have got again E is not a closed set because in earlier case also in which capital E is greater than or equal to 2. If cardinality of E is greater than or equal to 2, we are getting that E is not a closed set. But if capital E is equal to 1, that means cardinality of capital E is equal to 1, then only we can have E is not a closed set. And what is E? E is any proper subset, right? Because we have selected E to be any proper subset of a X, right? In this example also, singleton A is a proper subset of capital X, na? So hence we can have, this is what, if you are going to take any proper subset, or you can have this as any proper subset of a indiscrete T spaces closed. Sorry. No proper subset, it's correct. No proper subset of a indiscrete T space is closed. And if you take any proper subset of indiscrete T space, that is not a closed set. Okay? Have you understood both the statement?
Yes, ma'am.
तुम्ही कुठलाही प्रॉपर सबसेट घेतला इनडिस्क्रीट टी स्पेसचा ते क्लोज येणार नाही का नो प्रॉपर सबसेट and it is closed, and here if you write a statement as any proper subset, then it will be not a closed. No proper subset, here it is closed. If you take a proper subset, then it is not a closed. Okay, so the same statement we can write in two different ways, so it will be helpful for you in the MCQ examinations, right? So you have to remember this statement that if you are having indiscrete space, if you take any proper subset, it is not a closed. Now let's take the same thing for the discrete space. What was the case for the discrete space we have found about the derived set?
Empty set.
If you take any subset E of a x, we are having derived set of E is a empty set. Okay, we have proved the result by the contradiction. If you remember, we have proved this result by contradiction, and we have derived set of E is empty set, and we know that empty set is a subset of every set always, and hence we can have E is a closed set. Okay, so now we can write here a remark for this one. I can write the remark as every subset of discrete space is closed. Why this is closed? Because we have found the right set of E is an empty set. This result I have already shown you in one of the lecture, in which we have proved the result by contradiction, assuming that let x be a limit point, and we are getting some contradiction like phi is not equal to phi, and hence we can say that every subset of a discrete space is a closed set. Why this is so? Because if you take any subset E, then derived set of E is always empty set, and empty set is always subset of any set. And hence we can say if you take any subset E of a discrete space, then it is a closed set. Okay, this may be again for helpful for your MCQ exams. Okay, because we have to remember this statement. So let us go for the properties of a closed set. Okay, what are the properties of a closed set? Let us go for one by one. What is the first property? We can say F is a closed set. Okay, let me write down. Let capital F is a closed set in X2 and X is not a member of capital F, then there exists open set Gx containing small x such that, what such that? X belongs to Gx and Gx is contained in F complement. Okay, what is the statement? Let F be the closed set in X2 and small x is not a member of capital F. Okay, we are having one element which is not a member of F, and there exists an open set Gx which contains x and which is contained in complement of F. Now, if F is a closed set, what will be the complement of F?
Open.
Right. This we have done already for our real analysis. Let X be this set. What is we have? F is a closed set which does not contain the point X. Okay. Small x is not a member of capital F. So I can write small x outside. Then what is our aim to prove now? Then there exists an open set Gx containing X and which is contained in F complement. Okay, what is F complement? This whole whatever outside is there, that is what a F complement. Now this is what Gx is an open set which contains X and which is containing the complement of F. This is what whole F complement, and hence we can now say that what is we have, there exists an open set Gx containing X which is contained in F complement. Okay, have you understood what is given to us and what is our aim to prove?
Yes, ma'am.
So by the diagram itself you can understand this. Let us go for the one by one. What is given to us? Let me have the solution as, let have P, the closed set. What do you mean by F to be a closed set? By definition of a closed set, I can write this as derived set of F is contained in F. Okay, and what is given to us? X is not a member of a capital F, right? So obviously, if X is not a member of F, X will not be a member of a derived set of F, right? That I will show you later on if you are having a doubt. Okay, if X is not a member of F, we can say that X is not a member of a derived set of F, right? Now, X, if it is not a member of F, obviously I can say X is not a member of a derived set of F, because we are provided that F is a closed set. F is a closed set means what? Derived set of F is a subset of F. If it is a subset, if I am saying that one of the element is not a member of superset, obviously it will not be a member of a subset itself. Barobar?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, by you can write here by the subset property, because derived set of F is a subset of F. So if I am saying that X is not a member of derived set of X, I can write the statement X is not a limit point. If X is not a limit point, you have to use a definition of not a limit point. What is the definition for the not a limit point?
There exists X belongs to Gx such
There exists an open set G with containing X such that Gx intersection E minus singleton X is equal to empty set. बरोबर? What is the definition for the limit point? For all open set G containing X, we should verify the condition G intersection E minus singleton X is non-empty. But instead of having for all, the condition will be changed to there exists if we are checking for the not a limit point. And this not equal to 5 will be changed to equal to 5. So now I have this is equal to empty set. So हे set empty कधी होणार आहे? It will
whenever
have
Gx intersection E equal to X.
singleton X.
Gx intersection E is equal to singleton X, or in another way I can have Gx intersection E is empty set. बरोबर ना? Empty set असेल तरी पण intersection X complement वर घेतल्यावर again empty setच येणार आहे ना? So there are two
Yes, ma'am.
possibilities. Either Gx intersection E is singleton X or it is empty set, right? So let me consider one of the condition, right? Either this or the another condition. So if I am having the condition Gx intersection E is empty set, or in another way we can have the condition Gx intersection E is singleton X. Okay, there are two conditions. Now you have to tell me which condition will be true, right? If I am assuming this condition that Gx intersection E is singleton X, but we know that what we know is X is not a member of a capital F, so X will be in its complement, no? Or instead of having instead of E, let us take it as F itself because we are doing the discussion for F. Okay. For this set we are checking. Gx intersection F minus singleton X is unempty. Right. For this X is not a point of F. By definition of not a limit point, I have to write this as F minus singleton X. Okay, so there are two possibilities. Gx intersection F is ideal singleton X or it is empty set. So Gx intersection F is singleton X होणार नाही. Why? Because X is not a member of F. How it will be a member of an intersection? बरोबर ना?
Yes, ma'am.
If X is not a member of F, obviously it is not a member of a intersection. Okay. The confusion I think you have evaluated because X is not a member of a derived set of F. So actually E ये notation already हमने use किया था. So that's why I have written E. But we are here checking for a F. So hence GX intersection F. So here we can say that if X is not a member of F, obviously it will not a member of an intersection. So what is a possibility for this to be GX intersection F is empty set. So I hope you are knowing this property. If you are having A intersection B is equal to empty set, so what is a possibility? A is contained in B complement, or we can write B is contained in A complement. Okay, let me show you with the diagram. If suppose this is X and suppose I am having this set A, so if I am saying that A intersection B is a empty set, so here A is a subset of some another set. So I have to say some another set, say B. A and B are in such a way that they are disjoint set. A intersection B is empty set. So what is a complement of A now? This whole set. Okay. So A complement contains B. Okay, B is a contained in A complement. Or in another way, I can have another figure in which we will write down the complement of B. What is a complement of B? So we can see here now A is contained in B complement, right? So we are knowing the result that if A intersection B is a empty set, so A is contained in B complement, B is contained in A complement. So from this statement, what is the statement we have found? GX intersection F minus GX intersection F minus singleton X is empty set. So what is the possibility for GX intersection F? It is empty set. So hence I can write GX intersection F if it is equal to empty set. We can write this as GX is contained in complement of F. But what is GX? GX is a open set which contains X, and hence we have proved the result. That is, if we have a F is a closed set, F is a closed set which does not contain the point X, then we can have a open set which contains a point X and which is contained in the complement of F. Okay. What we have to do for this one? First we have to write down what is the definition of a closed set. Derived set of F is contained in F. And if derived set of F is a contained in F, then if X is not a member of F, which is given to us, so if X is not a member of a superset, obviously it is not a member of a subset. So X is not a limit point of F. If X is not a limit point, use the definition of not a limit point of capital F. That is, capital F intersection with the open set minus singleton X is an empty set. There exists a one open set G which contains X on which satisfy this condition. So now there is a two possibilities. Either this is singleton X, GX intersection F, or it is empty set. So it will not be equal to singleton X because if X is not a member of capital F, obviously it is not a member of a intersection. And hence we have the result that if A intersection B is empty set, A is contained in B complement or B is contained in A complement. Hence we can have the result GX is contained in the complement of F. And hence we can say that we have got the open set which contain X and which is contained in the complement of X. Okay, have you understood the result?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now let us go for the next one. What is the next one? Let F be the closed set. We have to prove that the complement of F is a open set. Okay. The second property, given that F is a closed set, we have to prove that F complement is open set. We have F is a closed set in X2. We have to prove that the complement of F is open set. That we already know how to prove this. So, we have done this already in our real analysis. If any set is a closed set, its complement is a open set. If I want to prove that F complement is a open set, that is to prove that F complement belongs to 2. बराबर ना?
Yes, ma'am.
If I want to prove any set to be an open set, that means I have to prove this is a member of a two, because what is two? Two is a collection of all the open sets, right? So if F is a closed set, we have to prove F complement is open in X2. If F complement we have to prove as an open set in X2, which means that we have to prove F complement is a member of a two. Okay. Now, as we are not knowing what is capital X, what is F complement, so let us assume that any set I can write in the form of a singleton sets. Suppose I have a set of natural number, I can write this set of natural number as union of singleton 1, or we can write union of 1, 2, 3, and so on, right? So we can write this as union of all, instead of natural numbers, I can write union of all I, where I runs from 1 to infinity. Okay. So any set I can, if I'm not knowing that what is a set, whether in this example also we are not knowing what is capital X, what is F complement. So let me write down capital F complement as union of all singleton X such that X is a member of a F complement, right? So any set I can write in the form of elements of the set. That means X is an element of a F complement, and I can write this as a union of all this. Or in another way, suppose it is set of rational number. So I can write the set of rational numbers in the form of a sum union, right? So I am simply writing this set as a union of all the singleton X, which what is X? X is a member of a F complement. Just like here I have shown you that any natural number set can be written as a union of all those elements. Have you understood this step?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any set singleton X च्या union मध्ये लिहू शकतो ना. Suppose I have the set is 1, 2, 3. Okay, let us say this is a E. So I can write E as a union of all I, where I runs from 1 to 3. And hence I can write this. So let us take the previous theorem. What is the previous theorem? X is not a member of F, then there exists an open set Gx which contains X and which is contained in F complement. Okay. Now, what is given to us here? Let us select X is a member of F complement. If X is a member of F complement, directly can I write if X is not a member of F?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. F complement we have written as a union of all singleton X, where X is a member of F complement. So I can now write X is a member of F complement. So if X is a member of F complement, obviously it is not a member of a F, right? So F is a closed state which does not contain the point X. Okay. So now we can go back to our theorem. What is the theorem? X is X is not a member of F, and F is a closed set in X2. Then there exists. Okay. I can write this. If you want to write down, you can write the statement of a theorem here. Whatever we have proved here. By the property one, I will write there exists open set Gx such that X belongs to Gx and Gx is contained in F complement. Okay. So let me write down here. By the previous property, there exists a open set which satisfy this condition. Now singleton x, this x I can write it as a singleton x which is contained in Gx, which is contained in F complement. Can I write this? If it is an element, I have to write this as a belongs to. If I am writing this as in the form of a set, I have to write it as a subset. Have you understood
Yes,
this
ma'am.
step?
Yes, ma'am.
सिम्पली x हे gx मेंबर असेल तर सिंगलटन x हे सबसेट लिहू शकतो आपण gx right. So now let us take the union on both side. What will be the resultant if I am taking the union on both side? What is x we have selected? First you should remember that. Okay, x we have selected to be a member of a F complement. So we have written just now here that F complement is nothing but the union of all the singleton x where x is a member of a F complement. Now if I am taking the union on both sides which are members of x, members of F complement. So let me write this as union of all Gx where x is a member of F complement which is contained in F complement. So union effect of union will not be there on the F complement since we are not discussing about that. Because F complement is nothing but your union of all singleton x itself ना. इथे युनियन लिहिलं तरी पण तेच येणार आहे F complementच बरोबर ना.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is this set? This is nothing but your F complement. Just now we have written from equation 1, right? What is our equation 1? F complement is union of all singleton x. So this is what F complement which is contained in Gx, because again we can have this is what union of all x belongs to F complement which is Gx, but which is contained in F complement as what we have selected gx is an open set, no? So gx, if it is an open set, what is arbitrary union of open set?
Open set.
So this is also member of tau. So I can now write down this is what one set is a subset of other, that set is again subset of that set, which we can write it as A is a subset of B and B is a subset of A. What this property tells us, F complement is equal to union of all Gx where x is a member of a F complement. बरोबर? इथे तेच आहे ना, A is a member, A is subset of B, B is a subset of A, and hence I can write F complement. They are equal. That means I can write A is equals to B. So what is your this union? Because if G is open set, union of all the arbitrary union of open set is open set, and hence I can write this union is open set. If this is a open set, I can say F complement is also a open set. Is it okay?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what we have done initially, we have been provided with one closed set. We have to prove that F complement is open. If I want to prove that complement of F is open set, what I have to do simply, we have to prove it is a member of a tau. Okay, F complement if it is open set, it should be a member of a tau. So as we are not knowing what is X and all, so that's why we have written F complement as a union of all singleton X. Okay, so here we have X is a member of F complement. We have selected X to be a member of F complement. So if it is a member of complement, it is not a member of a set itself. And we have to use a property one in which there exists an open set which contains this condition. Now this X as an element, we can write this X as an element when it belongs to Gx. And if I am writing this as in the form of a set, I have to write down this singleton X as a subset of X. Now just take a union on both sides and you will get the result. In which if Gx is a member of 2, union of all the Gx will again a member of a 2 because it is closed under the arbitrary union. And hence the result that if this whole set is an open set, it is equal to F complement. So we can say that F complement is also a open set. Okay. If you are not
Yes,
having
ma'am.
doubt, let us end the lecture. The next lecture will be uh, conducted by Tenge ma'am itself. Kori sir is not there, so he is on the leave. Okay. Thank you. Okay, yes, you can leave the meeting.